What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. We're going to continue this email thing where I answer your emails. If you have a question for me, that doesn't mean it will be featured on the video. It just means that I do answer my emails. You're free to send me an email. It's youtube@towpiglet.com. Okay, let's jump into this email. Hello, my name is, I'm currently a CDL Class A holder with about a year experience. I'm looking to get into hotshot. I currently reside in the panhandle of Texas, but I'm having trouble figuring out how I go about finding loads once I have completed all the necessary steps in order to run under my own authority. Just curious if you could provide any insight as to how you went about finding loads and booking freight when you started out. I know transporting pump jacks to and from Bay City for repair for the oil fields around here pays really well, but no one around here who does it is willing to tell me much for obvious reasons. Thank you in advance for your time. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Okay, really interesting question. So, number one, if you're a CDL Class A holder with about a year experience, I think hotshot trucking in general for semi-truck drivers is a step down or a step back. I strongly would recommend against it for a couple of reasons. First of all, in general, freight is really tough. I made a video about it, this video right here. And so freight is really tough, and because of that, I don't know if I'd recommend in general for someone that drives a semi to step back or down to a hotshot, number one. But number two, you want to use one of two load boards. There's two load boards you want to use, and one of them is DAT. DAT is like the biggest of them all. I'm not sure how they measure them, but in a very, very close second is Truckstop. And so both of these are the two most common load boards, and you don't have to have both. You can have one or the other, because when I was dispatching and I used both, the loads would be posted almost immediately because big brokers use API to automatically post to both load boards. Some smaller brokers prefer one over the other, but in general, most of the time loads do get posted to both right away if it needs to get covered. The thing that'll set you apart in this, if you choose one or the other, is speed, how quickly you call. That'll set you apart from, because loads do go quick. So if you're fast, then you should get it. If not, then you're going to be slow either way. So that's where you start. You want to start on the load board. Literally everyone starts on the load board. When I started, 100% of my loads came from the load board. So that's where you start. Right now, I would say 50% of my loads come from the load board. I get my loads still load board, as in the broker calls me directly. If I'm not available, he's still posted on the load board. Now, you develop relationships and friendships over time, and so that's why you get calls directly. So it's not like I got a contract or I'm direct shippers. That's not the case. It's more or less like, the guy, we're friends and the guy calls me first, essentially. The other thing is, if you live in a really, really good area, sometimes you can go to a shipper and say, hey, you guys send stuff out on hotshots all the time. Here's my business card or here's my information. You can call me too. I live in this area. I can take any outbound freight you have. That's also what I heard other people do, but that's only outbound, and so you'll still have to get a return load, and that most of the time means you'll use a load board. So regardless of what you do, get familiar with the load board because you will be using it a lot, whether you're starting out, whether you've been in this for a while, or, for a backhaul. Regardless, you're going to be using a load board. But the other part of your question about the oil field, most of the time those are like, your friend or your family member works in the oil field and that's why they work there. So I'm not sure how much you make. Really crunch the numbers. I've made videos about roughly how much you can expect to make in hotshot trucking. If you really break your back and put the work in, you might be able to make more. This video right here is what I'm talking about, how much you can make. Also, it's a good way to calculate how much you think you can expect to make or something like that. So in general, guys, dude, if this isn't for everyone. I would say if you're making $800 to $900 a week, take home, that means before tax you'd probably be making $1,200 to $1,300 roughly. If you're making that right now, I don't know if hotshot trucking is going to be worth it. You know what I mean? It's just that it just depends on your benefits. You know, that's the big reason. Because in hotshot trucking, you're self-employed, so you have no benefits, like no health insurance, no investments, no retirement, nothing. You're self-employed. And so that is the only issue. If you have a family, or depending on your situation, that'll determine whether this is worth it or not. Also, I don't really know how old you are. You have a CDL, so I don't know, man. Yeah, dude, that's tough. Like, watch my loads video and watch the how much you can make video. That would be my best recommendation. But if you have experience and you're a CDL Class A holder, dude, I would strongly recommend, you know, just really weighing your options or keep doing more research. Also, in general, if people are interested to go from semi to I feel like that's a trend. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm getting a lot of questions, people that are going from semi to hotshot. And in general, I think that's a step back or step down. You could do something in semi trucking. Like, you could maybe pull a different trailer or go to a different like area of semi trucking. But in general, hotshotting is a step down. So let me also, you guys, like, what do you, am I giving the right advice in that semi to hotshot is a step back or down? Let me know in the comments. I will respond. I will like send this video to this person too, so I'm sure they will watch and they're interested in your comments. What you guys think, what should this guy do? Let him know, and that'll do it for this email.